All right. Welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is St. Kramer, Brandman Brandon, Brian the Grizzly, and Zach Attacks Reviews is back with us. What's up, guys?
Zach? What's up?
Yeah. So,
Getting so many
talk about
views.
this
I got
emotional
before we get started,
damage.
I want to say, Zach, his live streams are amazing. I gotta give him his props. He is doing a very good job, guys. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you need to join. You need to subscribe. He's doing a great job. He's answering questions. He's very interactive. I gotta give him props.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate
Yeah, he did like a 4-hour stream.
I'll be in there like watching it. I'm like, I'll be in there for like the first hour, and then I'll leave. I'll come back, and he's still on, still answering questions, like, and still have a good demeanor. I'm like, man, he's amazing.
Inside, I'm like, ah!
Sleep.
Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, no, I just wanted to get that out. Sorry.
But yeah. So make sure you go check out Zach Attacks, man. He's you do a lot of cool stuff over there. You got a bunch of reviews, man. Like every day, you different movie, different show. Like check this out, check that out. So that's super awesome. But I know Zach Attacks already has his review out for The Last of Us episode 8. So we're gonna do ours right now. And
wow, look at that, Brandon and Perp.
What's that?
Hurts.
You see it?
Oh man, yeah, show it if it pops up. Yeah.
So that's what Brandon thinks.
What's up?
And then
The Last of Us.
The Last of Man.
The Last of Us. The Last of Man. Really? He's got the little giggly on there, so I don't know. Because this one was, oh man.
You said okay, no, the Chris Rock thing. Okay, yeah, okay,
yeah,
I got you.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah. I want that. I want to talk about, because I was like, man, you got saved, because it sounded like Bigger and Blacker, but not as good. The same joke.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we'll definitely get into that a little bit. But yeah, The Last of Man, which I don't know, man, because this one was probably the most violent, the most messed up. Geez, where do they go next? Because the next episode is the end of the season,
and it's going to be epic. I guarantee you, it's going to be epic.
Mm-hmm.
But
we got the season finale coming up, right?
Yeah. Next episode's it. That's it.
I don't know what to do after that. I'm like, now.
Yeah, and they're saying it might be a while.
It's going to be like the end of the Truman Show. When you're sitting there, the dudes in the bathtubs, like, so what I'm going to watch now? That's how I'm going to be on Sundays. Like, so what I'm going to do now? I don't know.
What am I going to do on Sundays now?
Yeah. I always say, it was cool to see Scott Tenorman make a guest appearance in this episode. Yeah, and Troy Baker.
Yeah.
Troy Baker was James, I believe. Yeah. And if you don't know, Troy Baker is the voice of Joel in the video games.
And you see,
and
I can't
mocap.
say what you see him do, but he was happy to
the mocap. Yeah, I haven't seen Ellie, the voice actor that played Ellie yet, right?
Next episode.
I don't think she's popped in the next episode.
Probably. Yeah, she's
because I know she's supposed to be in, but she's supposed to be in one episode this season, so I'm guessing it's next episode.
She's gonna be tied to Ellie. That's all I'm gonna say.
I see what you did.
Oh
there.
Yeah. So come back in like 20 minutes if you don't want it ruined, because we are going to get into spoilers and everything.
Damn, you did. Okay. I got you. Sorry.
Yeah. I get it now. I was like, who? Yeah, but I believe he's the bully of Hartman. Oh.
Yeah, so David said, So Ashley Johnson, who voiced Ellie, will be in the finale.
Yeah.
All right, so since we talk about what did everyone feel about the first episode, like I'll let Zach go and then Brandon, and we'll just go around the circle.
The first episode or this episode?
Oh, this episode.
I thought this episode was great. I have my problems with it, but the things that worked really well. Bella Ramsey as Ellie, once again, a lot of people were doubting her because she doesn't look like the character, and I think she just knocked it out of the park at the right moments. And I think that she went on an emotional journey this episode, and she showed a lot of range, and she executed the anger and the violence really, really well.
Oh, the violence, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what you got, Brandon?
I know that I had said last week this episode was basically like Ellie or Bella Ramsey's episode. This was pretty much the same thing. She was putting in that work, you know. I think she's great as Ellie. I think a lot of this show wouldn't have worked as well as it did if she wasn't cast in the role as Ellie. I thought she did a great job. Definitely didn't pull any punches with the violence factor and just what a piece of crap the character of David was. You know, they did great with that. I think that I like the way that it was paced as well. It definitely kept me hooked in. The show overall is like a toxic relationship, though, because you know you're gonna you know it's gonna dampen your mood every episode, but you can't stop watching it.
Yeah,
those are my thoughts on it.
Definitely feel you.
Yeah,
you want to go take?
I mean, go ahead, man. You go ahead.
All right. So this episode was like it was like a roller coaster. Watching Bella like looking for someone to save her and realizing she had to save herself in so many instances. That's powerful. You know, once again, I look at through the lens of a dude that has 2 daughters, so you know, always has a dad. You know, and she's reaching out, looking for someone to save, and we see Joel doing whatever he could, everything he can to get to her. I mean, he's dying, and he's doing whatever it takes to try to get to her. I'll kill anyone, I'll murder anyone, I don't care what it is. He's doing his best Liam Neeson. I got certain a specific set of skills. Like he's doing all that trying to get to her, and he doesn't come, and she has to rely on herself. And you see the instant where she changes. That character grew up, and I don't think she ever could go back to what she was before. Like she became something totally different. And even though she was elated to see Joel, and you know, they really that moment that they shared and him calling her baby girl and all that stuff was amazing. But she is different. And you saw that, and having to deal with the things that she had to deal with in this episode, it's like a girl going to college. And then, you know, I don't know if you guys know that the what they say is like 25% of all girls in college will have to do with something like that, some type of, you know, R-word time period in their experience in college. You know, that's 25% is a huge number. All right.
Yeah.
And the fact that she went through that and it changed her immediately. And I see her differently, and I got it. Bella Ramsey played the hell out of that part, and it really like it stuck with me. Like, and I saw her, and when the episode ended, I was like, "That's it? No, don't leave me hanging like this." I see something change, and now I don't get to experience it because you see something change in Joel because that's my girl, that's my baby. I'm gonna do whatever, but you see something different in her because she had to rely on herself, and she survived through all the violence, because that's something he said. He said, I see the violence in you. And David he's 100% right. He wasn't lying to her.
A violent heart.
That was huge. You know, and he didn't say anything. That was a lie. I thought that was just amazing. The whole episode was great. So, but that's my comments.
Yeah. All right, so before I go, we'll show some of the chat comments. Xavier said, this is the first time I felt Bella Ramsey really came into her own. I smell an Emmy nom for her. Ooh, maybe.
This one?
Yeah, this for this episode alone. Yeah. And then purpose, this episode made me hungry.
You a clown, man.
I hear you.
In the best of ways.
Yeah. I hear you.
It's like one of those Snickers commercials. They acting all crazy. You're crazy when you're hungry. Yeah. Venison? What do you call it? Venison? because then it makes sense. Because but she's like, what is it? And I was like, he's like venison. I was like, oh damn, okay. And then like, oh no, but then they show it. Holy shit, they show the bodies in the
right.
Man, I did not expect that. But then it's just. Like everything you guys said, I'm not going to repeat because I agree with all of it. But just David though was such a different character than we expected. I think a lot of us,
we didn't know what was going on because first he's like a father, and then he's like a savior, and then he's part douchebag, and then you start to see his real colors.
Yeah. Douchebag is easy on him because it is crazy, man. It is crazy. I'm sure people who played the game are like, see, now you know.
Yeah.
But, So, but
they added a layer here from the game that wasn't in the show that wasn't in the game. The whole religion part,
religious
like him
part,
having followers and stuff like that. A big thing in the game, he didn't have women around him, and it made the stuff with Ellie creepier because he was in a group of all men. So they added that element of him having like a religious following and stuff like that. And I liked it because they added the whole, like, he based it off the cordyceps. That's such a connection.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was crazy when he was just like, oh yeah, like this is the reason why, because like almost like he was worshiping them.
Yep.
But he just replaced God with the virus, or not the virus, but the fungus or whatever. So it was like, he was so weird. But I just love like the whole how it all went down. It's like, she bit him, and then she used what she knew she could to kind of just give a minute of like fear in their eyes, like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Then she just takes advantage of that. So big spoiler if you haven't seen the episode. I mean, we already talking about all spoilers, but when she's on the butcher table and I'm like, oh, Ellie killed Joel. And I was like, I'm like, in a way, like the live action Ellie killed video game Joel. So there you go.
Oh,
that was kind of funny.
Right here in the jugular, right in the jugular.
Yeah,
it was
yeah. So I was like, this device, but also like another thing what this show does is like the bad guys always have to make a decision. Like, do I go for personal selfishness, or do I try to save the larger group? When it came to what's her name in Kansas City, it's like, I can save all the group, and like we can get ready for this, virus, not the virus, all these the zombies underneath the city that are going to pop out, but I'm going to go make sure I get my revenge first. It was like, what? Same thing we hear. He's like, I'm a dirty, nasty old man, or I can save the building, and he's like, oh, fuck the building. I was like, what? Like,
bro.
But he was smart enough to understand.
I was like, the place is on fire, and you're so sick and nasty that you're unzipping right now? Are you serious?
Yeah, exactly.
You see the feeling is coming down, right?
But do you understand like how the scene changes everything, the emotion of the scene and the fire, and it's like what she's feeling inside of her, trying to fight to get out, but she's stuck in the thing. So she's stuck in the building, the fire's happening, and you feel that and all this stuff is still happening to her, and she has to fight to get out anyway. And I thought that was just cinematic the way that they did that way.
Yeah, I think Zach might be stuck. I'm gonna bring him down for a minute.
Yeah, look at it.
He's giving a high five. So. Yes, Zach was stuck. So when he comes back, we'll bring him back on. But like but I mean, if anybody's ever done any kind of like film class or whatever, like certain things mean certain things. I mean, like water means emotion, and the way you place water in different scenes is way like water in a glass that sits in between two people, that means something. Fire, passion, like you knew somebody was going to do something really bad. Dude, Zach come back yet? I know he's still frozen. He's just frozen in a different frame. But yeah, like the fire is very like passion, and it could go either way with a violent or whatever, but it's just whatever happened. And then obviously the way she killed him was very, it was beyond self-defense. Because once she hit him, he was done. But then, there you go. So she hit him, but then she's like kept going. And she had this passion where like, I need to destroy you. I don't need to kill you. I need to destroy you. And she was just sitting there. I mean, there had to have been nothing left of his head. It just had to be like ground beef at that point. You know, it was like,
after that.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Right?
That's good. That's exactly.
Yeah. So, but you know, with the fire, I mean, you knew things were going to get a little crazy, you know, because whenever they do stuff like that. So,
it's like when she was in jail because she felt trapped. So she's in bars, you know, and she's in danger. You see them trying to hold her down, and she was able to break loose. And then the fire was like what she's feeling inside of her because she has no way to get out. And it was amazing the way like I felt like each scene was the feeling she had inside of her and how she was trying to break out of that. And Joel trying to get to her and not being able to reach her. It was just
and
so
the snow slowing him down. The elements come into play. I saw a great analogy saying that he was using heaven to create, something, but he died in a fiery hell. And I thought that was a great analogy for that because he was using the light of heaven to fool these people and then die into the fire. Like, I thought that was cool too.
That's interesting. Xavier said, yo, the sound design on the people eating was bananas.
I know.
I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember.
The sound of them eating?
People eating?
When they're like...
Yeah. I gotta go back and watch. I do want to watch this one again before it is done. And then Perp said the violence is still too tame for me, especially of being HBO is really off-putting. I mean, I guess they could show it, but
compared to what HBO does and the game, it is tame.
Yeah, but I'm good with it. I don't mind things.
I don't mind the story.
Yeah, but also I don't mind things happening off screen. It kind of lets your your mind kind of run with it, because like I said, like how bad was his head when she was done? You know what I mean?
Oh, don't show that part.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I mean, what Joel did to those other guys.
Yeah.
Popping kneecaps off.
Yeah. I don't know. Brandon, what else? You got anything else, man? You've been kind of quiet. What you think?
Oh no, I'm just taking in everything you guys are saying, but no, I'd say that was pretty much it.
Yeah. Any scene or a kill? Because there was a lot of kills in this, and there's a lot of kills in a very short amount of time.
Oh, definitely the final one where she, like just filleted David like 20 something times.
Yeah. She left something for all the rest to eat.
Oh,
here you go. Here's dessert.
Cooked. It's funny watching that, and then today watching Scream with the ending of that, and she basically did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I was like, wow, these women are just wilding out.
Yeah.
On people that deserve it, by the way.
Yeah.
It was
probably going to rewatch Scream 5 at some point this week.
So Ellie was leaving. The only comfort she had, she thought that possibly this place that they might be good people, especially as she talked to him. She thought she started to let down her guard.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought David might be a really the first good character we get in this entire movie. The entire show. Like really, only good-hearted person. And then we start seeing the horns. And he does one thing, and then slaps the little girl, and then he picks her up and sits at the table with her. Like it was just like the little stuff. It was just so much. And it's funny because I felt like everyone that was sitting in that diner was afraid of him, but was also very worried about what they were eating.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All of them, like, as they're eating, they all like look. No one was licking that bowl. That they all were like, "What the hell is this?" Like And it's so funny because David goes says, like he had no problem. He has no conscience. So he said he was born in violence. He's always been that person. He's a serial killer. He's a terrible person. He's always been. Can you imagine him being a teacher?
That's the part that got me. I was like, "You're a teacher?" I was like, "Oh man, like the hell?"
A lot of teachers like him, unfortunately.
Yep. Yeah. Which is not good. But
when he said that, like I teach, watching knowing the game, playing the game, know where it was going.
Yeah.
And when he said, I used to teach people at your age, I was like, oh God, that just made it so much worse.
Yeah.
That means you were preying on them from then. Is because pre-apocalypse there was so much order and law. Now you can just do all your darkest inhibitions without anybody stopping you, especially since you have this cult behind you that barely questions you. Are you gonna slap the crap out of them like you're Reacher or something? Like I felt that slap. I was like, oh, did he hit me too?
You're like with Will Smith. He's like, it still hurt.
God damn.
A year later,
all through.
Then the hips.
So my issue with this episode, and I think it's the problem because I play the game, and it's been a problem with the show so far, is that they're capturing part of the game where it's like the human horror and the humans are as bad as the infected, but they're missing I fought them infected. I'd rather fight humans. I'll fight 5 dudes before I fight one clicker.
A clicker or a tracer
or a stalker. No, I'm good. I'll fight 16 humans before I fight those things. But I just feel like there's a lack of infected in here. And I think what made the game great is that you see why these people are acting this way, because the infected are everywhere. And that fear and that of them being around, like there's a scene in the game where you see that scene where they're sitting down and talking. In the game, they get interrupted by clickers.
Yeah.
And they go into a mode where they have to fight together and they bond. So when that betrayal comes later, it hurts more because us in the game are like, oh, David might not be that bad. He looks like he might be another father figure for Ellie.
They could have done that at the time when he sent the other guy away to go get the medicine, and
that's when it was supposed to happen.
And then he's puts himself in danger to try to save her, and then they bond, and then the betrayal would be much worse. But
it would have been a lot worse. But there's just, I don't know if it's budget concerns or just the creators want to focus on the humans. I just think that they need to. Hopefully for season 2, at least, they focus more on the actual infected being involved as well.
I feel like that's a theme, like a running theme, is that it's not just the clickers that are causing the problems. It's the people here. They're immoral and they only think about themselves. And the only place you go to is the commune. Is the only place that's safe. Everywhere else, there's a problem because humans themselves are a problem.
Yeah. But that's like every zombie post-apocalyptic kind of thing. Walking Dead, that was the same issue in Walking Dead. So
it
kind of like you said earlier, like it kind of like it's like, oh, these are the bad guys, but they're just mindless zombies. Like the real bad guys are the ones who like knowingly decide to do this effed up stuff.
The best,
yeah. So it's kind of messed up. So here, get some comments in. So Perp said that takes me out when they cut away. Like imagine if they were to cut up the red wedding, would it still hit the same?
No,
I mean I get it.
Yeah,
I get that. Yeah. Like you want to see those kills. He said that dish she made looked good though.
Oh no!
I was like, well, what you marinating in? I don't know, man. It looked red. So I was like, hey, you marinating in blood? This don't make any sense.
Well, we saw who was cooking. We saw who was in that kitchen.
Yeah,
you already know it ain't gonna be no good.
Ain't no seasoning on it. You know ain't no seasoning.
Offense,
right?
I guess there's some mayo, there's some spice in there.
Some mayo and some salt.
Salt. Not pepper. Pepper's too much. Yeah. So here, I had a question though. So since this stuff, like if they can bite you and you get infected, wouldn't eating a dead person that might be infected also infect you?
Probably.
I mean, granted, they gets cooked. So does the fungus get cooked off? I don't know. So I was like, that seems like such a silly thing to do, like in this kind of world, like to be a cannibal. I was like, you don't know what you literally don't know what they got. You know, I mean, even if they're dead, the fungus still might want to take over just to help spread.
I think that's what that cage is for, and that place in the back is for the check.
Well, I guess
strip down the body, check for bites. Scratches, marks.
They did show it, right? Because if you like cut the skin, you see it right under the skin.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just answered my own question, but yeah. But yeah, Bella said, or Knox said, Bella screams as she murdered David. Messed me up. Yeah, man, she felt that.
And then you see when she walks out with all the blood all over her, and I'm just saying, you see the change in her immediately. I was like,
coming right out that door. She just saw something. She saw stuff, heard stuff, and did stuff that no one that age should have to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because the episode before we saw her as a little girl and how innocent the love and all that stuff was. It was very innocent. She's just
wanting a family,
you know. But even like the thing, you know, she has her best friend there. They're flirting, all the other stuff, but it's very innocent. And from there to this scene, we're seeing her having the fight, you know, just to, you know, not her life, but just to not be, you know, the R word was just, it's night and day. And the fact that it happened within days of each other is just, I mean, we saw it within one episode of each other, made it even more of a drastic swing, you know, from seeing her as a little kid to seeing her as a grown woman having to deal with grown women problems. And that was just huge to me. Yeah. And I think we're going to see that change even more in this finale, because now she's not, I'm not a kid anymore, Joel. Yes, I love you. Yes, I understand what's going on. I'm not a kid anymore. We're going to have to do it this way.
Yeah. Yeah. Kyle said slap. Yep.
I thought he was gonna slap Troy Baker too. I was like, oh my god,
I know the way he looked. Next, I think I like David's murder in the show a little bit more than in the game. So, okay.
I said that in my review that I appreciated in the show more. It's not because I think it was done better. It's just that part in the game is annoying as hell, and I was just glad that it was over. I didn't even get the catharticism of killing David because I was just like, I hate this section. Every time I died, I was like, I don't want to play this game no more.
Let's say no, it's a good game. Where you're just like get angry with it. Dirty Vegas, what's up? She said, I would just go back to Bill, Frank, and chill, right?
I know. Yeah, exactly. They have so many places they could just chill and not be doing stupid stuff.
Like, see, but I get it, though. They want to save the world. You know what I mean? Like she thinks she can save the world, and he thinks, you know, he wants to help. He wants to go through what Tessa's promised, and he thinks he can help save the world.
Yeah, but isn't it like, have you learned that the show runners are telling us the world is terrible, the people are terrible, everyone's terrible?
It's not
worth saving. I gotta say the world anymore. Let's just chill. Let's just go back somewhere safe.
If we could just deal with those terrible people and not also clickers and runners and all this other stuff, I'll do it. And bloaters.
Bloaters. Oh, that was the one that we saw that episode 3. 3 episodes ago. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't wait till you have a rat. Yeah, I thought the bloater was bad.
The rat king or king rat or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that kitchen was dirty AF.
Like, man, my mom will never cook in that kitchen. The first rule is you clean the kitchen first. You use bleach everywhere. You make sure everything is clean first. Then you get to cook in the kitchen. I've been raised right, man. My mama taught me a long time ago.
Knox said it's Hannibal TV all over again with getting hungry watching this episode.
That's crazy.
you and Perp on that same
stew, like
damn. You know, and I did make steak right before we watched this episode. Like,
man, Kank, I wish I could have warned you.
Oh man,
I would have told you beforehand. Not with this episode. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't. No meat. Go veggie today. Yeah, I said I could tell that stew wasn't seasoned. So
look at it. It didn't have no season. It was no seasoning. They didn't have no lard.
One single season.
No, definitely not.
Come on, man.
They had nothing in those cabinets.
Like, you couldn't go. I went through the houses like, man, they got to be one black house here. We got fine with this fucking virus.
Is that a Jamaican flag? Okay, they got season here. Let's
some
go.
lemon pepper. We gotta find something, guys. Come on.
That's sweet. Then Perp said, "That's a good point. Tank people can have all nasty stuff in their bodies."
Exactly. Yeah, that's
shoot. You talking about the virus? Why would they have STDs? That still exists.
Yeah. I don't know.
Now you turn into a clicker, and you got the clap.
Oh no!
You a clapping clicker?
That image just made my stomach turn.
Yeah,
like a clicker twerking.
Oh, that's bad. I'm sorry.
Instead of its head being that shape, it's the other end.
Oh my
god! Somebody already made it. I'm sure you go on the internet and look it up. It's right. I mean,
I'm sure there's some, Last of Us
piece
out there.
I'm not going to sleep tonight, guys. You have ruined it. I cannot sleep tonight. I don't even want to blink right now. I'm afraid to blink because I'm afraid we'll see the image in my. You know what? Thanks, guys.
I did my job.
Yeah. Dirty Vegas said that wasn't cooking. That was like dirty water in a pot and meat thrown. Is that they just like got some snow and melted the snow? And
I was like, man, why does that still look yellow, man? Yeah, that's the snow you chose. Yeah, dirt in it.
That's my sazon. That's my spice.
Yeah, there you go. No one had any adobo?
Come on, man.
Like, none.
Not one person in that convent, no black person in that convent, because they would have pulled out some hot sauce out that. They would have had a person like, there you go. We keep a little side of it everywhere we go. My wife keeps a little side of Tabasco or hot sauce all the time, just because.
Yeah, just in case.
Just in case, you never know where you at.
Yeah.
Oh, that chicken does not look good. Don't worry about it, babe. I got it.
Yeah.
That's why I married you.
Yeah. Got a little mini pantry in her purse.
Yeah, she's like, don't worry about it. Put a little bit on it. It'll be all right. Yeah. I'm very multicultural, so you never know whose house you're going to be at.
That's a damn fact. Smart man.
Yeah.
Hey, let me get that lemon pepper. Put that on there. Put a little Lowry's on there. A little hot sauce. We good to go, man.
I went to one of my friend's house one time, and they was the tank variety, and they gave me food, and I was looking at it, and I ate a piece, and I pulled out some seasoning. It's like, what is that? I was like, I put some salt on this, man. I don't know what you did, but I don't want to insult your mom cooking, so I'm gonna do it secretly. But this is
They come out like I knew I was prepared. I knew where I was coming.
I already know what's happening here.
That's bad.
When she's not looking, you throw the seasoning in the pot. Like, somebody ruined it.
In the pot.
And then over said that's some dry ass hamstring. Those quads are rough.
Hey, it fell off the bone. What you talking about? That was falling off the bone. That was some good hamstring.
That's some good hamstring.
Just pull the bone out like this.
Yeah, like, man. Like that one chef that he does that salt.
The salt. Everybody say adobo, some
letters.
Yeah.
You need everything.
Soda frito.
Yeah, some frito.
Yeah, need everything.
Seasoning, something.
All right. Any bad things before we move on, or anything you're
I
like?
already said mine. Needed more infected.
You just need more course.
Brandon, any bad things or anything you want more of? Especially going to the last episode.
Happy that Joel's back on his feet. That was kind of going on for a little longer than I would have cared for it to. But I understand why. They needed a little more like Ellie centric content, so it didn't really hurt anything for me.
Yeah. And the last couple episodes have been all Ellie, really. Mm-hmm. So
she's definitely carrying it, but it helped develop her character. So instead of being a whiny little girl, she's now becoming the character, and who's really the savior? Who's really the one doing this? Who's really the hero? Is she saving Joel or is Joel saving her? That's what's changed,
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't realize when playing the game that Ellie was the main character the whole time.
Yeah. But remember when I remember playing this game, I think this was like the first one when you were Ellie. Wasn't this like the first mission when you were Ellie?
This episode here? Yeah.
This was the first mission that you were actually playing as Ellie.
I was terrified. I was like, oh my God. All my upgrades. I don't have the listening mode no more. I don't got the shake. What is happening? What are they doing to me?
Like, I would have been a little bit more ready if I would have known.
I want to end this with this. So, he said, it said, not in God, but cordyceps. What does cordyceps do? He asked Ellie. Is it evil? No. Is it fruitful? It multiplies. It's fruitful. It multiplies. It feeds and protects its children, and it secures its future with violence if it must. It loves. Dude. That's a villain right there.
Yeah.
Hey, but he's talking facts when you compare that to religion and some of the history of it.
Man, that was
insane. Yeah.
That's true evil, guys. That's man.
Yeah.
The show touches on stuff that will go over people's heads.
All the time.
I think that's what makes a good show, is where you can just take it at surface level and enjoy it, or if you really want to dig deep, especially this episode, you can dig deep in a lot of things with just David as a character, like how many levels of effed up he is, so
but you also have to realize that he kept those people together. So it's like no one is all bad and no one is all good. Everyone's right in the middle.
Gray area.
And they're really just looking out for their own self-interest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's better for me, my self-interest to be in the group, I'm in the group. And if it's better for my self-interest to kill everybody in this group, chitty bang bang, they're all gone.
chitty bang bang.
Oh man, that that's the best way to end it. Just with Brian saying that. All right. Let's get out of here with this one. We got one more episode left, the finale. It is going to be a banger. I think we're all going to lose our damn minds.
It's 45 minutes.
So,
I'm kind of scared.
Yeah. That's not a lot of time.
Too short.
Yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see.
We're going to be angry next week.
I think so. I think it's going to be angry that we have to wait a couple more years. I think they're saying like it won't start shooting until maybe the end of this year. So we'll see, when we get season 2.
Are we getting season 2 first or Superman?
Yeah. What are we getting first?
Or Invincible.
Oh my God. Don't say
Invincible's coming out this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. But make sure you guys check out Zach Attack Reviews. He has a solo review of The Last of Us, so make sure you go check that one out as well. Make sure you hit the subscribe button with his channel, and make sure you hit the subscribe button here. Hit that like button. That lets YouTube know that we're doing something good. And then if you go through all our content, we have a bunch of other shows and TV shows and movies and stuff that we talk about. So make sure you check out some of that stuff and share if you want to share it. But if you're watching live, stick around. We're going to talk about some other stuff. If you're watching our replay, thank you. Appreciate it. And we will see you next week with the finale.